Okay, we're going to get back to Joy to the World and reharmonize the melody. And what I'll do is I'll compare each measure as we go along to the original harmonization, which is just fine. Nice thing about reharmonizing a song, especially a song like this, is that they're very short. The Christmas carols tend to be short. There are a couple of long ones, but for the most part they tend to be short. So if you're going to play them more than one time through, it's nice to have the reharmonization. It really adds an element of interest to playing the song. So looking at measure 1 from the original, we had the G chord going to the C. In the reharmonization, once again, keep in mind the melody stays the exact same, but we're just reharmonizing it, and we'll see how that works out. So instead of starting the chord with a G, we're starting it with an E minor, and then we're going to a D with an F sharp in the bass. Leave the ring finger down and just go bring the second finger to the low G. E minor, D with F sharp in the bass. And then what I'm doing is I'm just adding an extra bass note, this open E, as you can see. That gives us time to come up here to 7, 6, 5 and play this E augmented. Hear that? That's in place of the C chord from the original arrangement. So all together we have okay, I'll play that again. So we have 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So that's the way you'd want to count that. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay? Now we have an E augmented that's taking us to an A minor 9, which has some dissonance to it. So not only are we reharmonizing the melody here, in the original arrangement, the chord is G. Here we have an A minor 9. Hear that dissonance? Because we have this C against this B. But it passes pretty quickly, so it's fine. And then from there, we want to just slide our first finger down to the 2nd fret, drop our thumb, and then take these 2 fingers that are free and go to our G chord. So playing that new arrangement from the beginning, we have the E minor, 4, okay, I'll play that again. So I think you can hear the melody there. I'll play the original that far. Okay, then the new. Okay, so we have some interesting harmonies going on there. And then both arrangements go, just pick that G note, that D note with the pinky. Okay, so that is the same. And in the original, we go from that note to a C chord, to a D, back to a G. In the new arrangement, we have a C to an A7. When we go from that C to the A7, just leave your middle finger right where it is, bring the ring finger down. Okay, and then from there we go to a D. We'll just slide that ring finger up. And then go to a D7. And then back to a G. Okay? Both of the arrangements at that particular point do end with the G. In the original we have the new arrangement. The only thing that's truly really different in the reharmonization in the second arrangement is the addition of that A7. That's the only thing that's really truly different. Right? So keep in mind when you're playing that C to the A7, keep that middle finger down and then slide it up for the D. And then to the D7, you basically just have to grab that. And then we're back to the G. In the new arrangement, we're just putting in a C chord as a filler, and then back to a G. Okay, so I'm going to play the new arrangement up to that point. That's just, once again, that's just a filler chord there. G to C. Okay, now moving on, in the original, we have the E minor, going to the C, to the D, with the F sharp in the bass, to the G, and we just do that again. Okay, in the new we have E minor, and then instead we go to an A minor 7, which is very similar to the C in the original. The main difference is in the original we have the C chord where we have the C note here in the bass. We're just making it an A minor 7, which is essentially the same chord, but it has the A in the bass. Okay, so we have in the new, starting at the E minor, keep that middle finger down, go to the A minor 7, keep the pinky down, go to the D with the F sharp in the bass, okay, and then that basically repeats. Now, here's where it gets different. Instead of going back to a G, like we did in the original at that point, we go to a B7, and then we have the B note, right? So I'm going to play the new arrangement from the beginning to that point. that B7 is leading us into that E minor. In the original, at that point, where we have that E minor, in the original we have a G. Okay, in the new, we have an E minor there. Go into a D. Now what happens here is we're on that D chord, and all we're going to do is bring our ring finger down to that G, and then play that first fret on the B string to the open B. So I'm going to play it from that E minor again, for the D with the F sharp, play the G bass note, and then the two notes. I'm going to play that again. Okay, the original sounded like this. Once again, the new. Okay, now I'm going to play from the beginning once again in the new, so we can gradually hear how this all comes together. Okay, from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from there, we're just dropping into a D with an F sharp in the bass. Now here's something a little different. From that D with an F sharp in the bass, we're going to go to an F chord. Now the way I'm doing it, you see I'm playing my D like this. I don't know if you're using your thumb on these D chords or not. I'd be interested to know. The next time you give me a Marco Polo or something, let me know if you are in fact using your thumb on these D chords. Because after we play that, then if you're using your thumb, it's quite easy to go to the next chord, which is an F, because the middle finger will stay right where it is. The thumb will just slide down to the F, and then we'll grab the rest of the notes there. So we have 1, 3, 3, 2, 1. So it goes from the D, just slide down to that F, and then we bring that second finger back up and play those two notes. So I'm going to play that measure a couple of times. Okay? I'm going to finish it up before I play it all the way through again. Then from there we go to a C, high G note, back to a G, to an E. Now, after we play that E chord, you see we have the first fret. All I'm doing is I'm just kind of flattening out my first finger there. Okay, then bringing these two fingers down to play the A, leaving the middle finger, ring finger where it is, to play the D, and then finally finishing on the G. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play that all the way through from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. you go. There's a reharmonization of the song. It'll probably take quite a bit of practice, but it's really worth digging into and trying to understand as much as you can about what's going on. It would probably be good for me just to do kind of a little mini lecture on the reharmonization, just to kind of explain some of the things that are going on, because there is, even though it may seem a little odd on the surface to you, there is a lot of, makes a lot of musical sense, a lot of the things that were done. And this video is getting kind of long already, so they take forever for me to download, so I don't want it to go much further. But let's leave it at that for now, and I'll try to get another video to you later on that kind of explains a little bit more about what exactly was going on there. But keep in mind the different fingering ideas that I pointed out, so that you can make those chord transitions easily. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you later.